President Biden hit a major milestone this week with another major accomplishment that unfortunately he is not getting enough credit for. And this is actually part of a series of accomplishments that President Biden has secured since becoming president. I have talked about it multiple times, and every time I've talked about it, I have mentioned the fact that this is probably the greatest thing he has done since becoming president. And of course, each time I also mention that he just does not get the credit for it. So what happened this week? President Biden got his 200th federal judge appointed to the bench here in the United States. He has now, at this point in his presidency, nearly 3.5 years into it, he has appointed more judges than both Obama did in his first 3.5 years and more than Donald Trump did in his first 3.5 years. And that is incredibly important considering the fact that a quarter of all district court judges in the United States were appointed by Donald Trump. So the fact that Biden is now on pace to appoint more justices than Trump did is absolutely staggering, like mind-blowing that President Biden has managed to accomplish this, especially given the razor-thin margin that the Democrats hold the Senate with. He deserves a ton of credit for this. And it gets even better because unlike his two predecessors, or actually you could say 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 predecessors, he's not appointing corporate lawyers. Now, for those of you who have watched over the years, both myself and Mike Papantonio talk about the judges that even the Democrats appoint to the bench, typically they come from corporate defense law firms. And that is reflected in their rulings where they typically go in favor of the corporations over people and victims. Biden, to his credit, has not done that, at least not to the degree that his predecessors did. Yes, some of them came from these. He's appointed public defenders to become judges, which is magnificent. He is appointing plaintiffs' lawyers, people like Mike Papantonio, to be federal judges. People that spent their careers working for people, not corporations. That is amazing. That is not something that typically happens, even with Democratic presidents. So again, full credit to President Biden. And I'm not done. Over 60% of the people he has appointed are people of color. Over 60% of the people he has appointed are women. So why does that matter? I know conservatives are just eating themselves up as I say that. It matters because different life experiences matter in those judgeships. If you're picking nothing but a bunch of wealthy white guys, guess who they're going to protect? Nothing but wealthy white guys. You get a low-income defendant coming into these courtrooms against a massive corporation, they don't have any empathy for the low-income person. They don't have any shared life experience. But when you put a person of color up there, they see the world a little bit differently because the world's been a little bit harsher to them. Same thing with women. Same thing with public defenders. That's why this is so important. This was a massive milestone for President Biden this week, and he deserves full credit for doing such an amazing job with his judicial appointments. Well, folks, we have crossed that 1 million subscriber milestone, but rest assured, we are just getting started here at Ring of Fire. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel and make sure to like, share, and comment on the videos.